Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am the Sarcastic Barman, and welcome to PubChat here on the EiE Network. Does anyone else feel like 2020 was not the best of years, but then 2021 just went, hey, hold my beer, watch this. And then shit happened. Fuck my life. What the hell is going on? This is a weird year, but at least we've got the funny shit we can laugh at on the internet. We have beer, and we can get going with things. Let's go around the table, see who's here, and we'll start with my favoritist person here. Who's my favorite tonight? I'm not sure. We'll go for the head in the jar. DeadKennedyInSpace, how you doing, mate?
Hello, Space Cowboys. Hope everyone's keeping well. I'm doing my absolute best to avoid the ridiculousness going on in the 4% of the planet that has had ridiculous going on in it since 2016. I've lost the ability to care, so instead I'm focusing on a 42-plus minute project about the Dune universe, and also having a big laugh at Barman's latest video about expat Taffy's campaign against me.
Oh God, I can't believe he's made 4 videos on you so far. I'm expecting a 5th from him. It's just,
is there 4 now? There was 3 last time I looked.
There was 4. I think as I was recording the video last night, he'd uploaded one 6 hours or something beforehand. I was like, the fuck is going on? This guy is nuts. But fuck my life. Yeah, that was a good bit of fun. I'm glad you let me do those ones. Who else have we got here to say hello to? Better say hello to Dick Dawson, who's manning the switches, playing with his knobs, and also running the stream.
It's a night of Dick. How's it going, everybody?
Oh, going well, Dick. And I have to say, thank you very much for that awesome, absolute rip at that fucking cockwomble the other night.
Oh, my pleasure. I mean, I don't know if you could hear in my voice, but that was actually a happy moment. I was really enjoying. No, that was I was so riled up, man. I lost my fucking shit. I literally had to pause during recording because I got a hoarse voice and I had to like breathe for 20 seconds and then get back to it. It was fucking crazy. Holy. And to be honest, I'm not sure I gave him enough, but he's not getting any more lip service from me. You know, as I said, the only lip service between me and that guy is his lips on my fucking prick. So, yeah, fuck him.
I have to ask, is there anyone he hasn't blocked out of all of us yet? Is anyone can still see his Twitter stream, or are we all blocked now?
Well, I can still see his Twitter. I can still see his Twitter because he's a boomer and doesn't know that blocking me means I can't see it anymore. It's called the logout button. It's really simple.
There is always that as an option, but yeah, I was just thinking he's blocked us all. How sad can you be? Oh, love it. Who else we got here? We've got the Mike Burzelson, who's been introduced to one of my friends on Facebook. Mike, how are you?
Pretty good, pretty good. And yeah, 2021 is just starting out as a super duper dumpster fire, and the orange guy in charge just uploaded a video that has my wife really pissed off, so I can't wait to see that after this. So we'll get to that later on. Holy fuck. And Dead Kennedy, what is with that guy? You triggered the shit out of him. Holy crap.
I really did. Fun fact, I just took a look at his part 4. He's blocking anyone who has an account that doesn't have any content because that means it's a fake account. Nobody on YouTube exists who doesn't make content.
Oh, that's one of that's one of Lily's things. If you don't have any, if you don't have enough subscribers or enough videos, then obviously you must be a troll. That's his thing. Ah, jeez.
These people really do get worse. Fuck my life.
Yeah.
Where I was, I've completely lost my thing on the list. Oh, we've got an Aimee. Yay! How's Aimee and how's Matthew?
We are doing great. Thank you. Matthew went back to school this week. He's doing great there. Everything's going great. I want to thank everyone for coming today. Thank you so much, Furball, for coming, and everyone in the chat too. Thank you.
We are watching nothings today.
Hi, Matt. And then, yes, to our guest this evening, the pancake-wielding, spinning, singing, dancing man. I don't know if he sings or dances, but we'll find out. BM Furball. Oh, good. How are you doing, mate?
I'm doing wonderful. Just enjoying this wonderful year that is starting off so great. And the best meme that I've seen so far was that Canada and Mexico have decided to put up walls to protect themselves from the exploding meth lab between them.
I like that. I think the funniest one I've seen was the Joker showing round Pennywise. The Joker was 2020 and Pennywise is 2021. It's like, hey, this is our workplace.
Oh, dear God.
Oh, dear me. So, apart from the shitstorm, are we just going to talk about the shitstorm tonight? Have we got anything else to talk about? Should we get the beers in and get this party rolling?
I would love to talk about anything but the shitstorm, but go ahead.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've got a YouTube capture on the sharing side over with the dartboard and everything ready to go if need be and whatnot. And I mean, there's been so much crap and whatnot. I figured everybody needed a little more lightheartedness than serious. I mean, do we really want to go into all that again?
I'd prefer a joke and a laugh.
Yeah.
You can tell I'm in a good mood.
Stick with something stupid. And Dick, I mean that video that you made, did you? It's like you were running out of words, and all you had left was fuck, shit, and goddamn. And that's really all that it was. It was just a stream of expletives.
Yeah, I'm surprised it's even up still, to be honest. I mean, naturally, I didn't bother trying to monetize that. You know.
Oh, you should have. I want to know if it how red it would have gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would just get like a notification of really.
Did you really think?
Yeah, 1987 called and they want their Dice Clay back. Not a chance.
Yeah, they would have just sent you an audio file of actual laughing. That's what would have happened.
Yeah. But it was very much off the cuff. Like I got PM'd about the post on his site and whatnot, and I instantly got up, put my shoes on, got my jacket. I went to the liquor store, came back, and slammed down a beer in about 6 minutes flat or whatever, and pulled out the mic and started recording.
I feel like you probably should have put pants on as well.
That's what she said.
Oh, there's always the joke of during our second lockdown here in the UK, they decided that clothes weren't essential items, so they weren't open for clothes shops. It's like, okay, go to the shopping without wearing any clothes, and people did and took the pictures. It's like, fuck my life.
That was like during the initial lockdown, there was a judge here in the States. I don't remember where it was because everything was being done for Zoom calls, and a judge had to put out a notice to all of the lawyers in their area about appropriate attire. You know, you must be clothed. You cannot use the bathroom while in court sessions.
Mute and people. Oh, dude. Yeah.
Apparently, laying in bed in sweatpants is not lawyerly like attire.
No, I wouldn't have thought so. You have to ask the question: did they have to stand up in front of the camera? Could they remain sitting down? In which case, did they bother with pants? Because how many people probably haven't on Zoom calls?
Oh yeah, I've done that as well. But I mean, there was one lawyer, you know, litigating a case in her pajamas in bed with the camera on.
With the camera,
there was sexy pajamas.
Wow, that's amazing. I've been working from home since April, and we haven't actually had to do much in the way of video chatting, but I get up and I sit in my big comfy chair with my ottoman and my coffee, and I don't think I could sit there in bed and do all that. That's just, I couldn't. I don't get it.
It's a little too orphan blue for me.
Yes, of course it is. Wow.
Like if I catch somebody raising their head to get a look down my shirt, no, not happening, right?
Oh, I love the bloody closed captions. I said, "I'll be fair," and it saw it as, "I'll be fat." Yes, I know I'm fat. Fucking Google's telling me. I was going to say, I'm a lazy fat fucker, and even I will get dressed and sit at my desk to do computer work. I couldn't imagine sitting in bed. It's just, whoa, no.
Yeah. Well, it's not like I'm, fully dressed. I'm usually in lounge pants and a t-shirt, but comfy.
Wrong with that?
I got to sit here all day. Yeah. You brought up that friend of yours on your thread on YouTube. I noticed he hasn't come back to me.
Nope.
Yeah. No, he just seemed to have bailed right after I body slammed him with stupidity he was talking about.
There's a couple of others who have joined in, Turquoise Laura and Andrew. I can't remember his YouTube handle, but yeah, a couple of others have jumped in there giving him shit. Yeah. And it's just the laughing emojis. For anyone to know, I posted something on Facebook, which was literally the death numbers for this year, which was 601,000 for the UK, which was 70-odd thousand above last year, well above the 5-year average and everything like that. And you just put a laughing emoji and then a stupid comment. And memes, stupid and memes. It's like, fuck my life.
Well, that's typical. I mean, these guys are, they remind me so much of flat earthers, and a lot of them are, but You know, there are many, many more who are just idiots.
Oh, you missed the best one that I had. I commented on someone's post, one of my friends, and the original person who made the post, because she only shared it, decided to chime in. And within the space of 2 hours, he posted 111 meme pictures.
Wow.
I was like, okay. So that's going to be a video for some point, just going through the stupidness of some of these memes that he posted. Like, fuck my life. Fuck my life.
111 memes.
I know.
How about some actual facts? Maybe that would help too.
None at all.
Well,
oh yeah,
I did that the other day, but it was a guy defending that Beatty piece of shit, and he kept trying to goad me into an argument, and all I would do is post memes back at him, like "go fuck yourself" and all kinds of shit like that. And when I was doing it purposely to trigger the poor bastard, right? And so I went to bed. And I woke up and he was still going. I'm like, seriously, your jaws are still flapping? What the fuck is wrong with you? You know?
Hey, Dick. So I'm on Twitter right now, and I'm over at Mr. Beatty's account. 4 hours ago, just looked again at the obituary page. Still just three comments, none of which carry the name Dick Dawson.
Wow.
The fuck is that supposed to mean?
What the? Okay, hold on. I'm blocked.
It's
I hate this guy. I hate this guy.
Okay, it's okay. That's a comment or reply to his own. The original tweet is: looks like member of McRae creepy cowardly conspiracy community Dick Dawson couldn't find his quote unquote pair and move along. He seems to be determined to execute the McRae get Beatty orders. And then there is a
wow. So apparently he thinks it's all about Steve McRae. Everything is about Steve and not about the fact that he's a dick.
Yeah. And this is the exact point I made in my video. Like, Steve comes up in my video a few times, but it's because this guy's trying to use the situation as a way of attacking. So that's why his name comes up. But in no way, shape, or form was I doing any sort of defending of Steve or anybody. It's just that, I mean, even just reading out his fucking webpage, I had to say the guy's name 5 or 6 times because Mr. Obsessive here, you know, he writes it in his own fucking fecal matter every 6 sentences.
Jeez.
So what's the
He's like a monkey playing with his own shit, just spreading Steve McRae all over his own walls, you know?
Oh, he's got a few posts about you.
What does he have to do about you not making a comment on the obituary page?
Yeah.
What is that? Huh?
I don't get it. I don't get it. I mean, I didn't do any sort of tribute things or anything because I'm a little bit personal with these kind of things, and I don't really want to go into a lot of that. And that has nothing to do with the price of rice at China, as we used to say when I was a child. You know, this guy's got some seriously fucked up issues. Furball. He's like, and you know, like. You've got a background with like reading people and seeing through the horse shit and stuff. This guy must be setting off all kinds of alarm bells for you.
He's doing everything he can. He's got you blocked, but he's tweeting all over about you. Anyone else notice how the cowardly, creepy Dick Dawson dared not show his face while reading the script? And while my face was displayed in various configurations, creepy indeed, cowardly indeed.
Wow. And then the next day, I was on Toon's channel live for 2 hours helping produce the show, and I was on camera the whole time. Yeah.
And you've been on camera before too, so it's not like
many times. Yeah, many times. It's just that our layouts aren't for camera because you got so many people that if you're going to put everybody on screen, they're tiny little windows, and it's stupid. So we do it our way, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So 2 hours ago, I thought maybe I missed something, but I checked again. Screenshots below reflect comments on Dick's Get Beatty video. Nope, I don't find any of them posting comments on the obituary page. Well, maybe later. What? So apparently we don't care unless we go to the obituary page and make a comment.
Well, for some reason, he wants to make it about that and not. He's using. I mean, he just randomly chose that particular subject in order to be able to take jabs at Steve for some reason. So obviously, anybody that has anything to say about it must be a Steve McRae lackey. And he's going to keep pushing the button and poking the bear for as long as he can. He seems like an incredible attention whore.
That's something I will never understand about McCrazies is I've had conversations with them where they say, "Oh, you're just a McRae lackey," and I'll say to them verbatim, "I don't give a flying fuck about @Steve McRae," and I'll tag him, and he'll like it, and they'll go, "Oh, you're clearly just a McRae lackey." Shut up! You're not paying attention to anything.
Well, that's the typical response. Obviously, if you are taking the opposite argument, then you have an agenda. You can't, if you don't agree, you've got an agenda, and I'm going to call you out on it, damn it.
Right.
Yeah. And, you know, this is literally, Unirock, are you paying attention? This is you when you're 70, motherfucker. This is you.
Just
No. This will be the only political thing I say tonight. Unirock at that age is currently in the White House.
Wow.
Because with the amount of evidence that both of them present for their arguments is the same. 0.
BM. I have to say, BM, I don't know if anybody else caught it, but when you went, no, before you started speaking there, you said it in perfect rhythm of like, no, Batman.
Wow.
Oh, God.
Funny. Oh, there's Mandelbrot said. I was trying to remember his name the other day when I was bringing up something. I was talking to a few people. I was talking to MC Toon on his show, and we were talking about people who are just vicious in the way that they attack the flurf arguments in chat. And Mandelbrot said is a walking weapon. Wow. I've seen it so many times. Impressive stuff.
Cool.
There's so many people in this community who have jobs or careers that just plain wouldn't work if the Earth wasn't a globe and space weren't real, that it kind of blows my mind. Like, I had a conversation with someone the other day who I didn't know was involved in the Columbia recovery effort, like directly involved.
Wow.
And it's just a fan of my channel. It's like, there's so many people that need to be in on this conspiracy.
Yes.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I was during during Columbia, I was in Louisiana at the Joint Readiness Training Center back when I did regular Army stuff. And we were in the debris field, and we were given a stop move for 3 days. We couldn't move anywhere for 3 days because they thought, because at that point, the field was huge and they didn't know exactly where everything had landed. But the entire training center shut down for 3 days.
Holy crap.
But, you know, space is fake.
Yes, but space is fake, yep. Well, when they find out I'm an engineer, I usually get two responses, but the overwhelming one is that I'm just blindly believing what I read in my book in college. It's like, it doesn't fucking work that way.
Well, they don't know because they've never taken an engineering course. They don't know that there's an application part of that schooling where you have to do things instead of just reading things.
Well, it's actually, there's the application part of just about any college degree. How many college degrees just have a basic, you know, physics and chemistry lab class? So yeah, I mean, it's not a matter of you read it in a book. Well, no, you read it in the book, then you have to apply it to an actual experiment. I saw a picture. Somebody put up a GIF file of, it was Adam Savage, and I think it was what is his name? Veritism. I don't remember who he is.
Veritasium.
Yeah. I think that's the one.
Or was it Smarter Every Day, Destin?
No, I think it was Veritasium, and it was. They had 3 balls, and they had a ramp, just a straight ramp. They had a circular ramp, and then a parabolic ramp, and you just dropped the same balls from the top, and you could see which of the 3 shapes causes the balls to get to the bottom of the ramp faster. And the parabolic one, which is got the longest path, actually gets there faster. And
I remember that video.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. But when I was in college, we had to do that. We actually had this setup where you actually had the 3 ramps, and they were variable. You could change the lengths, you could change the angles, the shape of the curve. We had different balls with different masses, and then we had to set it up, pick any setup we wanted, and then before we ran the balls, we had to calculate which ones were going to be first and how long it was going to take for the ball to roll down there. And the reason the parabolic one works fast is because it's very steep at the beginning, so it comes down really fast. And you have to take that gravitational component into account. You actually have to break the acceleration of gravity up into its components, its X and Y components as it's traveling down. So that's the perfect example of why it's not just reading out of a book. And of course, the other response I usually get is I'm a Freemason and I'm in on the lie. So that's the other question.
You're a Poe.
Yes, right. I'm part of the Illuminati or the 666 Club or whatever the hell they want to call it.
77 Brigade and things like that. I think you give them too much credit, though. You assume they've had like any schooling.
I love when they bring up Masons, though, because my go-to response is always, my grandfather was a Freemason. He had an 8th grade education and was a prison guard.
Sort of blows their whole theory out of the water, doesn't
it? He was not in charge of anything except a couple, except J Block. That was it.
Well,
no, that's only what they want you to think.
That's right. That's right.
J Block is where they housed all the scientists that were on the moon mission that didn't sign the document that said they weren't going to talk about anything.
Everyone who broke their NDA. Yeah. They're all in a little prison in Canada.
And it wasn't just a little prison. It was the access to the massive underground facility.
Oh, of course. Area 52.
Yeah, that's right.
Hey. I have a T-shirt from Area 52.
Oh, is Area 52 a real place?
No. Well, so Dugway Proving Grounds, Utah. It is a massive desert site, and it's one of the largest impact areas. It's the only place in the U.S. that they can actually test drop a Moab bomb. But because of its desolation area, it's still used for a lot of chemical testing, and not necessarily like testing of chemicals, but a lot of chemical defense testing. Since it's out there in the middle of nowhere. But that is notionally referred to as Area 52. And I was out there a couple of years ago for an official visit, and the garrison commander was like, "Oh yeah," and just bullshitting about all the people that think they've got the aliens now that they brought them away from Area 51. And I've got a T-shirt that says, "It's like Area 52. It's so cool, but I can't tell you about it."
I've always wondered where you would test a Moab. I mean, it's not like you could just have any old bomb range.
Oh, and so Dugway is about an hour and a half, 2 hours outside of Salt Lake, and nothing is out there. And halfway out there is Tooele Army Depot, and that's where they've got ammunition and stuff for the Pacific Theater. That's where they store the Moabs. And the only place they can store them, because none of their actual facilities are big enough, they're stored inside connexes stacked around it. They're not in the connexes. They've built buildings out of connexes to house the Moabs because they're that damn big.
Jesus.
Yeah, for anybody who doesn't know, it's actually got 2 acronyms, but it's a massive ordnance airburst bomb. The other one is, the mother of all bombs.
The mother of all bombs. It's only been dropped once. And it is large enough that it looks nuclear if you didn't know it.
Is that the one that has been dropped? Is that the one that was dropped on a major ISIS location recently?
It was dropped in Afghanistan. I believe it was dropped by Trump.
Right.
Wow.
I remember hearing about that within the last like 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, it'll fuck up your whole day.
Oh yeah. 2017.
Yeah, because the area, the blast radius is so freaking huge. So I never really thought about it, but yeah, you can't just use any old bomb range for that. Wow.
Yeah, it was first combat use 2013 April 2017 or 13 April 2017 at ISIS compound in Afghanistan.
Yeah.
It's housed inside of a cargo aircraft, and that's how it's dropped. It's not housed under an aircraft because it's too big. It's inside of a cargo plane and parachute extracted.
Yeah, you ever see like the cargo planes and they show the door open and they're dropping tanks and jeeps out of the back? That's how it works.
Jeez.
And it takes the entire back of the craft. The crew have to buckle in because of the air suctioning out of the back. It takes up so much space inside.
Well, the other thing is when they drop it, the weight change is massive, and you have to be ready for it because the plane will gain hundreds of feet in an instant.
Mass is 21,600 pounds.
I had never looked up what those things looked like before. I'm really disturbed by how similar the grid fins look to a Falcon 9.
That's where the Falcon 9 got the idea.
I figured.
Yeah. It is an epic piece of machinery.
Oh yeah,
it's huge.
It's made for those remote locations, like Afghanistan and desert scenarios and places that you'd need wide, and it's really good for open areas too because it goes off at altitude. It doesn't actually hit the ground, and it just creates fire and wind for miles and miles and miles.
Yeah, so you're talking about how the flat Earth just doesn't work, and I can't trying to figure out what I can talk about. But over the past year, I have visited so many different sites of different defense contractors and combat-related sites, and went and visited B-2 bombers and the crews. It doesn't work if the Earth is flat. It doesn't work.
Yeah, we design and build submarines, and obviously, especially for weapon systems and basic operation, we have to take into account the curvature. But we also use that curvature to our stealth advantage too. So it's we design that into hunter-killer submarines. It isn't as if we just go underwater. Of course, who was it that was that Mr. Thrive and Survive that said submarines prove that the Earth is flat? I love that one.
Yeah. For you, it just hits a little too close to home, doesn't it?
Yeah. Spent 4.5 years on a submarine, and now I design them. So
yeah. Design them. Hear that, people?
You're just me, aren't you?
Yeah. I'm a bubblehead. That's what we call submariners for all you non-vets out there. And surface we call surface ships targets, by the way.
So just for you'll love this. I don't know if Jared or anybody else told you about this, but I visited the Bonhomme Richard a couple months ago. That's the ship that caught fire out in San Diego, and I referred to it as a boat twice to the captain of the ship.
Oh,
yeah. We're going on a tour of it, and I mentioned a random question, and I said blah 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 about the boat, and he very politely but astutely, "It's not a boat; it's a ship." I did it twice.
The only thing worse is calling a submarine a ship. You would really piss people off. Kevin, you got your hand up.
First of all, I just want to add really quickly. My dad has owned a van his entire life, and he calls it the truck, and it drives me insane. But also, Barman, you put in the Discord that the Moab's bigger than the Sarbama. That can't be true.
It is. I've got a picture of it. And yeah,
the detonation or the explosive
Must be size.
just the size-wise itself. So the Tsar bomber is smaller than the Moab bomb itself.
The bomb, okay, not the explosion. I was very confused. That's what I thought you were saying. I was like, isn't the Sarbama the single largest man-made explosion ever?
Yeah, 50 megatons.
Yeah. It was bigger than they expected too. It scared
Yeah.
You should imagine it, all the observers like, whoa, we weren't expecting that. we should. Hey, our forward observers, have you heard from them?
There's an episode of Reading Rainbow. I remember it well because my son liked it and watched it about 30 million times. And LeVar Burton says a submarine is a very complex ship. And when you said that whole submarine line, I thought, oh, geez.
Yeah, that kind of triggers me when I see those things on TV.
I was never in the Navy. I can make those mistakes.
Yes. Yes, but you will be reminded of them as you make them. So.
Oh yes, I will be reminded. Jared will not let me live it down.
Yeah, of course not. Especially because he was on big ships. So, yeah, I worked on the new class aircraft carrier in a joint project with Newport News Shipbuilding.
That is one of the amazing things that I got to do this year. Is I got to land on a carrier.
Wow!
Oh,
Nice.
Yeah.
Helicopter or plane?
What's it called? The plane. Now I can't think of shit. I can't think of what the name of it's what it is.
Is it a P3? No.
I thought it was a P2.
No, it could be.
But yeah. So took off from San Diego, flew out to a carrier, arrested landing, and then catapult takeoff. Out there for a couple hours. That was so. As somebody who tried to join the Navy when I was in my teen years and was told no, you can't because you had asthma 10 years ago, and then I had a pouty, sad face, so I joined the Army. 22 years later, the Army put me on a carrier.
very cool.
Yeah,
That's funny in the chat there. BM, when you were asked if it was a plane or a helicopter, and you sort of hesitated for a moment. So Skydiver Tanner goes, Osprey?
Skydiver Tanner. The Osprey was about an hour after we landed.
Ooh.
So same trip. Yeah. So is it E2 Mike 71? That might be it. Greyhound. Greyhound.
Yeah, the C2 Greyhound. That's the typical, cargo and personnel transport.
Yeah, they refer to it as a COD.
Right.
So yeah, flew out there on the E2, flew back on the E2, did some other stuff landside, and then took an Osprey back into downtown San Diego.
Wow.
Nice.
Wow.
An aircraft carrier is an absolute dangerous. The flight deck is one of the most dangerous places to work. The Navy has it used to be called Flash. It was a newsletter that comes out that's for it's their safety thing, and they talk about this month's safety incidents and all that stuff. And they have one for the Navy, and then they have one for aircraft carrier flight decks all by itself, because they're that dangerous of a place to work on. It's the most dangerous place to work in the Navy. It is amazing. Yeah, well, you're landing,
Yeah, landing aircraft, it's windy, it's noisy, there's a lot of machinery moving, and
no rails, no railing. You're standing just sometimes 6 feet from falling 150 feet into the water.
Wow.
Jeez.
Wow. No, I don't think I think that's something that you'd have to get used to no matter what.
Yeah, they have rather stringent procedures on how to do things, where to stand and when to stand there. You know, because if you're in the wrong place, jet wash will blow you overboard in a heartbeat.
We've got a question here for you, Mike. Mandelbrot says, what does Mike think of this account of life on a nuclear submarine under pressure? Living life and avoiding death on a nuclear submarine. Did you know the book?
No, well, I've heard of it. I haven't read it. I've avoided those kind of things because they're, you know, unless they're written by a submariner, it's usually somebody's opinion of what they think, you know, after they spent 2 weeks running around a submarine and being showed limited things. And because there's certain places on a boat you can't go. I mean, even if you're, you know, one of those passengers or dependence crews or something, you almost never can go back aft into the engineering spaces. So, yeah. You know, and Linda hates when we're watching a movie or a TV show and it involves submarines because I get really annoyed at the myriad of inaccuracies. Because nobody knows what's going on.
You must have loved Red October then. I can just imagine.
Yeah. There was a lot of you have to push the I believe button and just let it go. I mean, it's a fantastic movie. It's still one of my favorite movies. But that whole ship is just. Yeah, just the Navy wishes they could have submarines that are that big inside. Holy crap!
I bet.
Are there any accurate submarine films?
Down Periscope.
Yeah, I love that one. Her matey. I don't know, Das Boot, if you want to talk about World War II, that was really good. And how they portrayed like the Dallas, which was actually, I think, the Houston. I don't remember, but you know how they actually shot it on board the boat, so it was pretty good. It was pretty cool. It's kind of tough to do because submarines are kind of a special animal as far as Navy vessels go. A lot of defense contractors only have a limited number of their workforce that actually run around full, you know, security clearances because mostly they don't need them, and the military doesn't want to give them out like candy canes, you know. Mm-hmm. But if you work for a contractor that designs and builds submarines, everybody but the cafeteria crew have security clearances. There isn't a single thing on a submarine that doesn't have certain level of sensitivity to it.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, Kevin.
I realized that 16 years ago when I first started working investigations. I was in Hawaii and we had a guy that was a victim of check theft. That's how old this case was. Actual like paper checks, and he was a Navy service member, and the subject was in the Army. That's why I was interviewing him and going over like a bio worksheet, trying to figure, you know, find out who he is, how old are you, date of birth, where are you from, and okay, you're in the Navy. He's in E2. What's your job? Oh, I'm a cook. Do you have a security clearance? Yes. What do you have? TS. It's like, well,
yeah.
Why does a cook have a top secret security clearance? Oh, I work on a sub. Oh, okay. I get that then.
Kevin.
A couple people in the chat pointed out what might be the most accurate sub movie ever made. Das Boot. Anyone?
Yes. That's one of the ones I brought up. It's
you did shoot that. Sorry.
More centric, you know, it's period. I mean, but it's an incredibly good movie and really accurate as to how things went, you know, back in World War II.
Have you seen Smarter Every Day series on submarines recently?
Yeah, I did see the first couple, and they're pretty cool.
Yeah,
he got some good access, and I was surprised because normally, like when they let someone go into the control room, half of the gauges and meters you actually see they have like snaps like you would on a jacket, because they have covers that snap into place over them made out of naugahyde. And because, most of what that is classified, which is why a cook has a TS. I mean, you go up into maneuvering when you're underway, and right out in front of everybody are all these top secret charts, and the quartermasters are plotting our course and direction and speed and depth, and all that stuff is classified, especially the depth stuff. Most of that is confidential. But yeah, that's why a cook has a top secret clearance on a submarine, because you actually see that stuff.
Yeah, Destin, I'm guessing he still has his clearance, but he had TS because he was a rocket engineer at Redstone before. He's done that for years. He recently, last 3 years, stopped working for the military and is now doing private stuff and working on his doctorate. But he's got a TS as from his prior job. So I imagine it was a little easier for him to get access, but everything that came off before he had access to anything he recorded, it had to go through the Navy's security branch to make sure that nothing in there was classified before he could make his videos of it. But a lot of his videos have been like average, everyday type stuff. Like one of them was just about meals. That's all it was how the cooks work, how they get their food on, how they plan their meals, and talking about like securing the different things, like the big difficulty of cooking while underway, and they're doing like a steep descent or ascent, and they've got to like hold on to all the trays. Like suddenly you're going down and shit starts sliding everywhere. Oh,
that would not be fun. As someone who works in the kitchen, that would not be fun.
Yeah, but they were very adamant that the subfleet has the best meals in the entire Navy, because you have to keep submariners happy.
That's the theory, and that's what they tell you. But
is it just me, or is that the talk of security clearance and cooks in the naval environment bringing up horror visions of Steven Seagal?
That was a good movie too.
Oh God, I forgot about that monstrosity.
Yeah.
Mandelbrot set mentioned in the chat that the Star Trek episode was based on the World War II submarine movie, the one with the Romulans, Balance of Terror, and I have to say that's one of my favorite episodes.
Yeah,
because it is. It's glued to the telly, like watching. What are they going to do? How are they going to get them?
Very good. Right up there with the one with what's her name in it when she has to die hit by the car.
The Garden of Forever.
The City on the Edge. City on the Edge of Forever. Yeah,
that's it. That's it.
Joan Collins.
The gardening.
Yeah,
thank you.
That's one of my top 5 favorite episodes, I think.
For sure. Me too.
Yeah. When we bring on stores on a boat, that usually takes about 2 days, and it's a chain, topside, all the way down the ladders and every nook and cranny. So we eat pretty good for the first couple of weeks, but like one of my longest patrols, we were actually submerged for 82 days.
Wow!
And you run out of food. You run out of fresh food. Other than they are always baking bread, so you always have fresh made bread, but vegetables go quick. They don't last but a couple weeks, and so you're just after a couple weeks in, you're eating just whatever's been frozen.
Yeah.
And we did take on a body once, so we put on an admiral who passed away and was going to be buried at sea, so we had to take him out. And he was in our freezer for about 36 hours.
Right. Wow. Okay. I have to ask, did you fire him out the torpedo tube?
No, that's no. That's actually a rather involved ceremony. We go. I was on a ballistic missile submarine. We call a boomer. So the behind the sail where the missile tubes are, there's a superstructure, so it's very flat. So, which is one of the reasons that he wanted it from a submarine, and the easiest one to do is a boomer, and we happen to be going out at the right time. So yeah, you go up topside. There's procedures, there's ceremony, and it's actually kind of a big deal. And then we dump him overboard. He's weighted, so we were out past the 1,000 fathom curve, so he went deep.
Wow. Wadden Toes just ask, how did you serve the Admiral? Did you eat the whole thing or just the rear?
Yeah, but did you hear what he said? It like he's weighted and stuff. So basically, you gave him a pair of cement slippers, like a bunch of mobsters, but just made a big fuss out of doing it first.
Well, it's like they're steel plate weights, and we have what they call the TDU, the trash disposal unit, on board, and they actually have these weighted discs, and it's a big trash compactor, and you put one disc in the bottom, compact the trash in, put one disc on the top, toss it over, shoot them over the board. They have their own TDU shooter kind of thing, and
dead Admiral catapult.
So that's the kind of weights that they use for something like that. And he's wrapped. He's specially wrapped. It looks kind of like, I don't know. It's kind of hard to describe what it looked like.
Kevin.
So now I have to know, can you request to be fired out the torpedo tube?
I couldn't tell you, but I would probably say no, because that could get pretty messy. If you ever see on TV where they've launched a diver out this torpedo tube, not only no, but fuck no. You'd be dead.
Well, he's already dead. What happens if you were still frozen?
Well, yeah.
Still, it's a torpedo tube. I don't know.
Yeah.
He's not shaped for it. It's just not going to work.
Yeah, it probably would work. You'd probably have to push him all the way forward in the tube just to make sure. But yeah, I suppose you could do it. But I bet that's not something you can request.
I'm going to retitle the stream to How to Deal with Your Dead Admirals.
That would be like the equivalent of putting him on a sled and attaching him to the catapult on the front of a carrier.
Yeah.
Just fling him off the front.
Yeah, and the new carriers are magnetic too. Maglev, yep. So they're really fast. They get up to speed quick too.
So you could just put a magnet in them.
Well, the way they tested it was they just had basically it was a truck, but they took the body off the truck, and they just hooked it up and launched the truck out into the bay. And it went far too.
They missed out on an opportunity of launching an Admiral.
Yeah. Except this was a test launch and they were in port, so they put a wind up sinking some poor pleasure craft with a dead Admiral. That probably wouldn't have been good.
Speaking of how to deal with dead admirals, does anyone happen to know of that story? There's a story it's a very old story back when they had wooden ships, where there was an admiral who had died on a ship, and they like pickled him to keep him preserved, or something. Or no, they put him in rum or something like that. They put him in something that they ended up drinking because they were desperate, and the admiral just rotted away in the barrel.
I don't think I can be that desperate.
I got to look it up. I'll get back to you guys when I actually know what I'm talking about.
Oh, it's Pickling Nelson.
Pickling. And you wonder where that term comes from.
In Brandy. The scandalous decision to pickle Admiral Horatio Nelson in Brandy. I don't know if that's the same one Kevin was referring to, but
I think it is.
Wow, that's fucking weird.
Pickle while you work.
You don't have to get too desperate. You're surrounded by water. You can, distill that into fresh water in no time.
All right. And that was
I'm not sure I'd want to.
So, what else can you do with a dead admiral?
It sounds like it ought to be a song. What can you do with a dead admiral?
Oh,
see, now the army doesn't have creative ways to get rid of their deceased retirees. We can't have fun. I mean,
you got cannons and just have to, put them in feet first and, turn it into an event.
They would even turn them into a mist.
How has nobody done the song yet? It works perfectly. What do you do with a dead admiral? What do you do with a dead admiral?
He already did, though. You're so far behind.
He's looking for the story.
You didn't commit.
No, yeah, you're right. I didn't.
We got some time traveling going on here. I think the head in the jar went back a couple minutes on us.
So did they actually pickle him in rum or not, or brandy, or is that just a story? I don't know. Where the hell was Nelson buried at sea? I don't know.
When you pickle an admiral, do you have to put those cool little round onions in?
Well, of course.
Silver skins.
A little dill, a little peppercorn, you're all set.
Oh dear. What has we descended into? Pickling admirals, yeah. Jesus.
Why does this rum smell like hookers and tobacco?
I have a name now. Says Nelson was transported to England for a state funeral.
Yeah, I'm starting to think I got the two stories mixed up here, because it seems like they never ended up. It seems they never ended up drinking Nelson's barrel, so that must be from a different story.
Well, when I had to Google before, there's something called sucking the monkey. Which is a Wikipedia page, and it's in the Royal Navy. Sucking the monkey, bleeding the monkey, or tapping the admiral was the practice of sucking liquor from a cask through a straw that usually involved making a small hole, blah blah blah, to suck it out. And people used to die from alcohol poisoning from the practice.
Oh, okay. Wow. So there's a story that when they opened Admiral Nelson's barrel, all the brandy was gone, but apparently that hasn't really been confirmed.
And they do have alcohol on British vessels.
Mm-hmm.
Can't do that in the U.S. though.
No way.
No.
The days of rum are long gone.
Yeah, I don't think it were ever the days of rum in the U.S. Navy.
Don't they get on carriers? Don't they get a beer when they cross the equator?
Well, yeah, that's it's actually called a shellback ceremony, and yeah, that's a special occasion. And I think on aircraft carriers, if you're off duty and not going to be on duty in a certain amount of time, that there is a possibility of having a beer, but I don't know. It's the only vessel I know of that you can do that.
Wow, because that's a I'm just gonna go up top and see what's going on. Boom, I'm dead kind of ship too, right?
Yeah, yeah. Well, if you're not supposed to be on the flight deck, you don't get to go on the flight deck. That's
I bet.
Yeah, you can't do that. So
yeah, it's not the Avengers.
Yeah, no, not quite. So, you can't just go hang out by the planes.
Why'd you go for a smoke?
Or what was that in the new Wonder Woman movie? They're at the Smithsonian, and they just happen to find a fully fueled fighter jet ready to go, and then they fly it to Paris, I think it was. What?
Yeah.
It's not as bad as Battlefield Earth, where they get cavemen to fly Harriers.
Yeah.
The Harriers at this point several hundred years old as well.
Yeah, they're several hundred years old, and they were trained in a simulator that there is no excuse for why it has power.
Right.
Yeah.
How long does aircraft fuel last?
It was varnish when they went to use it. There was no fuel left.
Actually, I think that actually that was a F-111
Harriers
training plane that they used for Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
I love Transformers when they went to the Smithsonian and awoken the SR-71.
Yeah.
He's an old crotchety guy, and then he breaks out of the building. And if anybody's ever been there, The Air and Space Museum that he's in is right next to Dulles International Airport. The runway is out the back door.
That's right.
But when he broke out, it was in the middle of the fucking desert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's not where that is. I'm sorry. You just transported states.
Are you accusing Michael Bay of putting something on screen that's not true?
Let me think.
And just adding lens flare to make it better.
I thought he was a documentary filmmaker.
Was there an explosion when he broke out, though?
There was a lot of breaking stuff.
When he broke out of the museum, was there at least an explosion? Because otherwise, was it really Michael Bay who directed that bit? Because everything he does has explosions.
That's funny.
There were explosions, just not in that scene.
Oh, might not be him then.
Yeah.
Well, maybe Roland Emmerich or whatever his name is took over for that scene and just made it duller.
Yeah, and by the way, that runway is where they got that plane. By the way, was built by my parent company, General Dynamics.
Nice.
I suppose. I don't know that we build them anymore because that was, that plane goes back to the 60s.
When was it decommissioned or declassified?
What?
The 71. Because that wasn't made public until it was declassified and taken out of use, wasn't it?
Yeah. I don't know when that was.
Retired in 98. NASA retired it in 99.
Well, the F-117s, the stealth fighters, the stealth bombers, they were classified until some stupid shit released, video of, these are the planes that we used here to bomb Baghdad during the first Desert Storm. And it's like, I guess they're no longer classified.
I remember that, though. It was very public during the first invasion. Yeah. The 117s were over Baghdad as they were. I remember the tracer fire throughout the sky.
Yeah, shooting at nothing. Yeah. And up until then, the Navy or the Air Force denied they even existed, even though you could go down and buy the model kit at the local hobby shop. But that's beside the point.
Ash Scott says, pointing at the front, flames out the back. What's to classify?
I don't know, all that stealthy technology stuff.
Have you heard the speech or the presentation that the SR-71 pilot gave?
Yes.
About his ground speed?
Yes, and his new co-pilot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was fucking awesome. If anybody out there, it's on YouTube. Just look up the SR-71 and you'll probably find it. And all these people are asking the tower for their speed, their land speed. It was hilarious.
Yeah, it's like a tiny little Cessna who didn't have just verifying his instrumentation, asked for ground speed according to the tower, and the tower gives him his speed, and it's like piddly. Yeah, and then somebody with a bigger plane wanted to show him. I was like, tower requesting my ground speed, and it's like one up and one up and one up. Everybody wanted a faster speed, and here he is in a SR-71 flying overhead, and his.
Well, just before that though, it was like an F-18. So that leads into it. It's like, no, people are hearing him ask, and it's like, no, you don't want to ask because you're coming after an F-18.
Mm-hmm. And then I'm sorry. His co-pilot is like very quiet, very meek, very just not a guy to stir the pot. And the pilot's listening to all of this down there. It's like it's a dick measuring contest to all of the other pilots wanting to one up everyone else. And then all of a sudden he hears his co-pilot. Tower, this is so-and-so requesting confirmation of ground speed, and it's like triple everything else. It's like, yep, we've got the biggest dick.
Well, actually, too, it was also that they said it was like, we've got you at 1994 miles per hour over the land, and his co-pilot comes back. I think you have us closer to 2,000. It was hilarious.
Oh, dear me. Oh, right. Anyway, I've completely lost track of what's going on. I've been listening to planes and submarines. It's been fun. Oh, we've got nutters in the chat as well. Oh, joy.
Who do we got in chat?
Oh, multi-tom-tom.
Oh,
God!
Hey, we haven't had him around in a while.
The guy who thinks the Wright brothers plane disproves curvature.
What?
Yeah.
For fuck's sake.
Because he said for a fact that the Wright brothers plane, which was completely open to the air, was able to fly at like 30,000 feet.
Wow. Wow.
Did it even get 30 feet?
I think they had a hard time hitting 60. And they only did that the first flight for like what, 150 feet or something like that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So multi Tom was his question. Any evidence of spinning basketball Earth in the vacuum space theory? Yes. That's all I'm gonna say. Just yes.
Yeah. How about all of current science?
Yeah, we could try and teach you, but what did they say, that the definition of insanity is doing the exact same thing over and over and expecting different results? How many times have you been in the side chat?
But what are you asking for, multi-tom-tom? What kind of evidence will work? Will pictures work? Because there's one taken every 10 minutes. Will measurements work? Because there's thousands of those from all across the planet. Will the existence of the horizon work? Because that shouldn't be here on a flat Earth.
The fact the sun sets.
How about images of satellites? I have pictures of the space station that I've taken myself with no specialized equipment.
And by the way, TomTom, you can do that yourself. You don't have to rely on somebody else to test that one for you. We can explain it to you, but we can't understand it for you.
No.
I await your complete lack of response.
Long distance photography apparently debunks the spinning basketball Earth in the vacuum of space theory. No, it doesn't.
Let me just ignore literally everything you just said. But we can see too far.
I'd love to see his math on that, and for freaking mirages and refraction and everything like that, on how far he thinks we'd actually see. But I'm thinking, as that's more complex than 2 + 2, he's going to struggle.
Oh God! Don't bring up 2 + 2. Not even 1 + 1. We don't want We've had enough of that on Twitter recently.
5 divided by 0.
Black Swan. Yeah, you like how it goes under the horizon?
Yeah.
Like
how the other pictures from the same site are all bent. Sorry, Kev, go on.
I was going to say, like how the more distant oil rig seems to have suffered a severe accident, or there's atmospheric distortion. One of the two.
Yeah, one of the two. It had an explosion, blew shit up, and broke things. Or that's a piece of shit picture.
Yeah.
Multi-tom-tom. So, on the equinox, everybody on the whole planet, no matter what your latitude, sees the sunrise due east. That is physically impossible on a flat Earth. The sunrise literally proves the flat Earth is a physical impossibility. So there. Got one for
that. He'll be back in a minute. He got timed out.
Oh, did he?
He did. He didn't need timing out, but never mind. But I've had the fun this week. I decided there's one set of videos that I've never done that's been shared again on Facebook recently. Eric DeBay's 200 proofs are making the rounds again. And it's just like, fuck my life.
You know what happens is you get these guys who are just starting on flat Earth, and for some reason they all seem to start with the 200 proofs. So you get guys coming into these flat Earth Facebook groups. Look what I found. This proves you guys are all fucking wrong. You're all wrong, and here's why. No, dude, you can't tell me how many. I can tell you how many times and how many people have debunked every single one of those. You got nothing.
And I feel like it's definitely not 200 proofs either. I'm only 15 in. I'm sure he's only actually said 3 actual subjects.
And just reworded them. He does that 10 commandments thing where the first 3 commandments are all the same thing.
It's more 200 lack of proofs, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's 200 ways for me to sell a book. That's what it is.
Yes.
200 ways for me to steal from Robotham.
Yes.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. Well, I have a bunch of Flat Earth Society newsletters from the 60s, 70s, and 80s, and most of them that's what they are. They just cut and pasted, or actually mimeographed right out of Robotham's book. Just regurgitated that stuff over and over and over again. And it's like, why can't you guys understand this? Because it's fucking wrong. That's why.
Yeah, it's the worst that they don't fact check anything either that they're doing. One of the proofs was, yes, they put some lights on this point in Ibiza. They didn't give the point. And then they put some lights on this point in Spain, and they were the same height. Well, how can they be? Because the point you said in Spain is 200 meters higher than the highest point on Ibiza. You fucking knobs. They just like make shit up as they go along. I swear it.
Yeah. Well, I saw somebody posted a few months back a picture across the Straits of Gibraltar, and you could see this peak in Africa from Spain, and said, you should be able to see this. You see almost all of it. And my first question is, why don't you see all of it? And then my second question is where was this taken from? It was taken from the beach. And it turns out that, you can see the railings and everything. It was taken from about 1,400 feet up.
For God's sake.
It's just like, come on, what are you guys doing?
It's all they can do. It's all they can do is just lie, twist facts.
Yeah.
Because they know they have nothing. Which makes them so fun.
Have you ever seen their fake ISS photo where they say the ISS is like a model held up in front of a green screen?
Oh, yeah.
That one is so funny because for some reason the ISS is being held up by a boom mic.
Yes. and if you do I forget what it is now, but if you do a reverse image search on that is actually a green screen soundstage that was used in a prominent movie. I just can't remember which one it was. So they took that, being the intellectually dishonest asses they are, cut and pasted the ISS into it.
Oh, I saw a great one recently. It was the Tesla car, and someone said, "Look, it's on a green screen." You're like, "Oh, okay," but you forgot to green screen the window where you can still see the reflection of Earth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Absolute fuckers.
Oh, jeez.
They do that so often. I had Russian do a similar thing recently where he's looking at Victor Glover in the Dragon capsule, and he's on his way to the ISS. And he pauses on his face and he goes, "Look at this guy's face. He doesn't look puffy. He looks like an actor on a movie set." And I'm like, never mind the fact that the globe is literally reflected in his eyes right now.
Oh, we did that one, didn't we? That was good.
Oh, and Tom, get this. Now they're sending Tom Cruise up to the ISS to shoot a movie. Mm-hmm. That is the beginning of the end for you guys, because space tourism is coming. And it is going to definitively destroy your so-called flat Earth movement.
Yep.
People coming home with their "I went to orbit" T-shirts are going to destroy the flat Earth.
God, yeah.
That'll be really funny because there's such fanatics, they won't be able to admit that they're wrong. It just means that their arguments will become that much more ridiculous to try and explain away my iPhone video of curvature of Earth through a window.
Yeah.
I think I figured it out. This is Bob Nodell's plan. This is how he managed to raise £20,000 for a laser gyroscope. His next thing, he's going to raise £100,000 to go into space, just because he wants to go into fucking space. That's been his plan all along.
That is oh my god, that is a brilliant plan.
It's a long con.
Yeah, it's a hell of a long con. That's why all flat Earth is a long con, really.
Yeah.
You have to laugh at the ones that go, "But I'm not monetized," and you've still probably got your PayPal link, your Bitcoin link, and everything like that, but you're not monetized.
And you're still an idiot. So there you go.
And it's in no way immoral to also make money while doing the thing you like.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm quite happy to be monetized. Like, yay! I don't make much money, but it's nice to look at the end of the month and go, £2.
Somebody posted something on Twitter today about YouTube updating their terms of service, and that any new videos posted questioning the legitimacy of the presidency will be taken down as violation now that the election has been officially certified. And the person's comment was, What? That's terrible. What are you saying? You can't lie on the internet and make money from it?
Oh, don't. I had YouTube took one of my videos down this year already. I've got it back now, but I was like, fuck, what the fuck are you doing, YouTube?
What did you post?
It was a video on Kate Shimonari, Lee, what's his name from up Newcastle Way, and Lanka, the crazy woman, all about COVID, and them saying, well, it's fake and we don't have to wear masks and things, and me calling him an idiot, basically, and saying, yes, you do. It's not an exosome because exosomes are too big, blah, 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 blah. And it got removed. I appealed. They said, no, it's definitely false information. After 4 days of tweeting at the Twitter account for Team YouTube, finally got a response. They looked at it and said, yeah, someone's looked at it. It's not. We've put it back. I was like, fuck, thank you. So I put a nice tweet out. Thanks for finally looking. But fuck my life.
See, here's what's wrong with that system. Whoever manually watched it and decided it was false information suffers zero repercussions. Yep. If you're constantly wrong at your job, eventually you need to be fired.
Yeah. Right. Well, I feel if it was worse that, say I was a big YouTuber, say 100, 200,000 subscribers, million, whatever, and that video was making me money, but they took it down for 4 days, and it was, say, a new video, that prime spot where you get the views to start with, well, who's going to then pay me the money I would have made off that video if I would have actually made money off that video? It's a joke.
Well, I have to wonder, though, if you really were a big money-producing channel, whether they would do that.
Oh, it probably wouldn't have got taken off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a COVID video I want to do, but I'm afraid to do it because I know that that's going to be a battle with YouTube, because I literally want to discuss the stupidity of the claims on masks, claims on excess mortality, and all that other stuff. And, you know, I know it's going to be a battle to keep it up.
I'll be fair, that's the only video on all the ones I've done on COVID that's ever gone off.
Yeah.
So all the rest have been fine. I've had no problems. I just think someone's obviously reported it or got their followers to report it. Probably Kate Shimonari because she's nuts. And then they've just done it. And then when I've appealed it, no one's actually watched it, or they've watched the first 2 minutes of it, because I'm sure the appeal came back as no in less time than it would have taken them to watch the entire video, which is even more infuriating.
Yeah. So maybe you should put a disclaimer in the beginning that this is to explain why COVID is real and why the deaths are real. Because I can't tell you the number of people I still see that say nobody's dying. Oh. So, you know, it was something that's so easily verifiable too. So I don't get it. I just don't get it.
Yeah, to deny the amount of deaths, or even that saying that nobody's died, that means that the cabal of people who are in, you know, whatever, is literally every nurse and doctor from every hospital in the entire country.
Yeah, well, and the planet, actually, yeah, because it would be the same way everywhere. And I actually had somebody tell me last week that there were less deaths overall in 2020 than 2019. It's like, yeah, and I found out where that came from. Because if you look at the 2020 provisional death page on the CDC, you'll notice two things. One, it goes from February 1st to, and right now, to the week ending December 26th. So it doesn't have the first month of the year. Second, there's a little asterisk next to the date range, and you go down and you read it below the table, and it says that the data in here is 1 to 8 weeks behind the real death counts because of how the National Vital Statistics Service tracks and records death certificates. And then you look at the number of deaths for all of 2019 and then say, yep, nobody's died. It's like, do you and one guy gave that as a source too. It's like, did you read this page before you cited it as your source to prove nobody's dying? Like,
one of the worst ones got to be where they post the meme that's got numbers of deaths year by year and go, see, you can go to the ONS page and confirm these numbers. Okay, you go to the ONS page, you look at the numbers, they don't fucking match up. Nope. These people, I've got a video that's currently up for my members on Katie Hopkins, and she's going, 388 people under the age of 16 with no health conditions have died this year from COVID. It's like, well, no. Under the age of 16 in the UK with no health conditions, that'll be like 3,570. No, there's numbers, so I have to go and do it. But fuck my life. She just did the shit these people put out. And she's got 130,000 subscribers, and all the comments you look at are all like, yes, well done, Kate, because I'm not going to check any of these things, so I don't have the brain cells to do that. Right. Fucking knobs. But her video will stay up, and I get one taken down. Fuckers.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it's like Thompson's channel. I don't know why it was up so long. I mean, he had video after video trying to say that it's fake, and well, first it's fake, but then the next video would be COVID is caused by 5G. It's like, which is it? Is it fake or is it real? You can't have it both ways. No, it's gone, isn't it?
His new one, I don't know.
Oh, he's got a new one.
He had a new one. Oh, yeah, he made a new one like 3 days after the thing. I might have been away on holiday, but I was keeping some eyes on things.
I heard his Facebook page is back, but he doesn't have members anymore.
He doesn't have Facebook.
Yeah, so.
He doesn't have the largest Facebook community of flat earthers on the planet anymore?
No, it's like 500 members, I think, right now.
Yeah. Which means there are groups that think that mountains are trees with more members than he has of people who think the earth is straight.
Yeah, the satire site that says birds are fake, they're actually government drones, has more followers than Nathan Thompson does.
Oh,
that was a great
gonna say that. I was going to say, I bet birds are fake has more followers.
Oh, I love birds are fake.
Birds are fake is great.
It was done so well. Fair play. I really enjoyed that. And I can't believe the guy actually got on proper TV about it as well. So what the hell?
Wearing the birds are fake t-shirt. I loved it. That was funny as hell.
Wow. Oh my God.
Yeah, it's all satire, but he was playing it straight, baby. He was going for it.
Wow.
The fact they didn't catch on is... You only had to watch the videos on the YouTube channel and go, hang on a minute.
Yeah. But it's actually kind of brilliant, too, because not only does he say that birds are fake, but then he tied it to a secret government program because they're drones spying on you. So that just made it even better. It was pretty good.
The best thing is the birds aren't real subreddit because they're still going, still taking it seriously.
Are they really?
Like, pretending to. It's all satire.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, good.
I like the jokes of, the whole reason they've locked you all down is because they need to change all the batteries in the birds.
That's right. That's one of my favorites. Yep.
Oh, it's great.
There's even like they'll use this subreddit uses the same logic as real conspiracy theorists. Like someone posts a picture of like, look at these measuring spoons I got secondhand, and they're these like ceramic goose spoons. And so and the title of the post is "This drone merch propaganda is getting out of hand."
Oh, wow. Love it.
I was not aware of that subreddit. I'm going there right now. I just get the birds aren't real emails.
Yeah.
Well, if we're talking about silly conspiracies like that are obviously fake but are hilarious, has anyone seen any other ones that we all need to know about? I hope somebody has. Now I've asked the question.
Yeah, and I can't think of any actually.
I was just updating the description of the show. I had to put no dead admirals were harmed during this production.
Now you're going to have to add birds are fake.
Yeah, exactly. Eh?
There is a pretty funny Facebook group, but it is serious. It's the Christians Against Dinosaurs.
Oh God.
Yeah, it's a hoot.
Why are they so intimidated? Oh, right. Evolution.
Yeah.
Are dinosaurs pagans or something? What's the problem?
Well, they didn't mention them on the Ark, so obviously they didn't exist.
Oh, wow.
No, they took the baby dinosaurs or just the eggs.
Just the eggs, yeah.
I'm sure Kent Hovind's made that fucking argument before now.
The problem was the T-Rexes were eating all the animals, so they had to leave them behind.
Oh, but just what did they feed these animals? Because this was post Garden of Eden, so the meat eaters still ate meat. Oh wait, God powers, you're now eat vegetables.
That's
But,
right.
but I mean, that whole on the list thing's kind of funny because I don't remember like Komodo dragon and blue whale being on the list, but they're fine. Isn't that kind of a little too literal?
Maybe.
Well, isn't that the whole point? I mean, and then you have the absolute opposite direction of the biblical flat earthers. There's nothing in the Bible that tells you the earth is flat unless you squint, close one eye, squint the other eye, and read it through a mirror backwards and upside down. Then we can say it's flat.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, the four corners is the one that throws people off sometimes, I think. You know, it's a phrase.
Yeah.
Well, that's my favorite one. Is it's a circular like plate-like shape, but it has corners.
Right.
Yeah.
It's round except for the corners.
And
Because every snow globe I've ever bought was a square or a cube.
God's
Oh,
auditor.
see,
I
now
want
I have
clone
to make
dinosaurs
one, Jim.
purely for different grilling options.
Triceratops Wagyu.
Oh, jeez.
Thank you, God's auditor, for that one.
That's a good one. The good old Bronto burger.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I was trying to remember in my head. Damn it.
How many people do you
Let's,
suppose you could feed with just like one leg of a T-Rex?
Wow.
Me.
Yeah.
I'm thinking at least 30 or 40 dead admirals. Like, no problem.
Yeah. Can replace dead admirals with a T-Rex leg. And then we'd have to figure out how to use it on Simon Barman's pizza. So we could replace, the pineapple with frickin', plesiosaurs or something.
I think plesiosaurus pizza would go well with an Alfredo sauce.
Yeah. Well, you need to go out and get Nessie and try it out with using Nessie.
Get a cousin once removed just to make sure it works.
Yeah.
Oh, I wonder what dinosaur does taste like.
Chicken,
probably.
Chicken. Well, they say that crocodile tastes like chicken, don't they? So
they do.
I've never had crocodile.
Well,
I've heard people say that.
Also, chickens 65 million years ago were dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that cinches it right there.
That BJ, see, that's this whole conversation. All I've been thinking of is the rack of ribs that flips over the Flintstones car.
That's right. That's exactly what is in my head right now, too. As soon as I said Bronto burger, that's what popped into my head.
Totally.
I'm gonna have to make some burgers next week.
So, Byron, have you ever been up to Inverness? I've always wanted to go up there.
I haven't. No, we've never been up to Scotland at all. So it's on the wife and I's list to go up to, but it's just a pain in the ass drive because UK roads are terrible.
Yeah,
Because you're on the wrong side of the road.
We're really not.
Well, why is everyone else on the wrong side of the road then? Does that really make sense to you? Come on.
It's not everyone else. It's just the wrong people are on the wrong side of the road.
You and what? Bermuda. Big deal.
Japan.
In Japan.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, my boat was out of Dunoon, Scotland. Because the old Polaris missile boats had to patrol that area of the North Atlantic, and you couldn't come from the U.S. all the way over and back. It just wasn't practical. Yeah, so we were stationed in Holyloch, Scotland.
Nice. We're going to go one day. We'll go one day.
And we were going to go from Holyloch because we figured it's Scotland, right? No, it was like fucking 13 hours to get there. Scotland's fucking huge.
Yeah. Scotland is quite big.
It's like, holy crap.
We say it's big, but you compare it to America and the entire UK is quite small.
Well, yeah, but and plus we had to take 3 different trains and something. It was kind of weird. So yeah, you could get there. You'll be there by tomorrow.
So you're saying, in the words of the current president, it was huge.
Yes, it's right. like nothing seen ever before. Yes.
I hate that Trump became the huge guy because, Dick, you might remember this. Do you remember there was like a Canadian commercial of like a car place, and it had this really boisterous host of the commercials, and every sale was going to be huge.
Yeah.
It's like crazy.
That's what I think of when I see huge, and now Trump's ruined it.
Yeah.
Or confirmed that he is just a used car salesman in a fucking fancy suit.
Yeah, there you go. And he's the expletive, the adjectives. I mean, he can't just say it's really big. No, we've got to go. It's huge, proportions like it's never been seen before. Not since the Revolutionary War is something big this big. It's like, dude, you just said big. That would have been good enough.
Yeah.
Double plus good.
It's getting close to the Monty Python, so absolutely huge. Gosh, we're all impressed down here, I can tell you.
Oh, now I'm just imagining him in the Lumberjack song. God damn it.
Yeah.
Is he singing or is he a backup singer? Is he wearing the
backup?
Oh, okay.
He's a backup singer. Yeah.
He wouldn't stand for that, you know he can't be in the background. He'd just push the man out the way. No,
Yeah.
you're getting this song wrong. Where are my stockings? I want to be the center of attention.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That reminds me of a meme I saw the other day of comparing the beginning and the end of 2020. It's Susan Sarandon and what's his name from Rocky Horror. In the very beginning, you got Brad and Janet all dressed nice, and then that last scene when they're like in fishnets and leather and all disheveled. This is the end of 2020.
Oh no, I the ones I like is the Grease, the end of Grease where they're driving off in the car compared to oh god, Tarantino. Oh fuck, I've forgotten the film now.
Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction, that's one, of course.
Yeah.
And just after they've been injected in the heart, it's like, ha!
Yeah. Yeah, with Uma Thurman after she overdosed and they gave her the adrenaline shot. Yeah. That's a good one too.
Yeah, crazy cool.
But no, Rocky Horror, awesome film. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I used to like going when I used to go when I was like 13 years old to go and watch it. It would be Halloween midnight, and everybody'd start flinging toast at the screen, and everybody had rice, and it was like interactive. It was badass cool then, man.
Got to shout out the things back to it. Me and wife have been seeing it live twice, and we were at a gay bar in Cardiff, and they had a dance off with the song, and we won that, so we were well chuffed.
Nice.
Wow, that's pretty cool. Yeah, so, in the 80s, when I was stationed in Orlando, when I was going to Nick Power School, there was a theater that every Friday and Saturday night ran Rocky Horror at midnight, and they're right next to a Navy base, so it was a fucking madhouse in there. Toast. And everybody yelling, it's Brad, asshole, Janet, slut, and people dressed up on the stage in front of the screen and all the suits every Friday and Saturday night. I had to get good and drunk before you went, and yeah, it was a good time.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah, something to do. We went to see it in Liverpool though, and it was such a laugh, such a laugh. But now. Can't believe it doesn't get more credit than it's due. It's just like that cult sort of classic now. But then they try and remake it on some TV show or something. They did a redo of it, and it was terrible. It was fucking terrible.
Wait, a redo of what?
Rocky Horror.
Wasn't that RuPaul's Drag Race?
Yeah, something like that.
To be fair, I think they could pull it off.
What my daughter's really pissed off at is the upcoming remake of Princess Bride.
What?
No.
How dare they?
Yeah.
No. That is not being remade.
Yeah, unfortunately. It's supposed to be a scene for scene, but
Why remake it?
In which case, why? Yeah.
I don't know. I have no clue. And there's just, I mean, who do you put in Billy Crystal's place, or Andre the Giant?
I was going to say Andre the Giant. Who's going to play that?
So these characters and their lines are iconic. So and if you don't do it right, it's got to be a fucking madhouse. I don't know how they're going to do it.
Oh, that comment.
I'm looking right now and I can't find anything on it actually being remade.
Yeah.
Well, fingers crossed.
Oh, wait, no.
Furball, you just remind me, I saw a tweet set the other day, and it was replacing Princess Bride lines to make them fit for Star Wars. So instead of "have fun storming the castle," it'd be "have fun storming the Death Star," and just stupid like that. It's like it made me giggle far more than it should have, to the point where the wife goes to read it and goes, "I really need to watch Star Wars, don't I?" It's like, yeah, fucking yes, you do.
What?
Okay,
we'll leave that till after.
Yeah. Sci-fi fan.
If she's watched Ghost more than once and not Star Wars, you've got work to do, Barman.
I don't think she actually has. She watched Princess Bride with me quite happily, though, and she goes to the Rocky Horror Picture Show. So
good. What about Princess Bride? Another one along those lines would be Willow.
We've seen Willow. Willow was filmed near where I used to live.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
that's cool.
You must have been really tall for all of those people. How did you like?
Oh, fuck's sake! No, Willow's a good film.
So, like, Princess Bride is one of those movies that if I'm surfing channels and I come up on it, no matter where it is, I'm watching it.
Yeah,
it's like there's a couple of movies like that, like My Cousin Vinny, or Hudson Hawk. There's another one. That's kind of an odd one, though.
There was a film on the other day, Stardust, and we were flicking through the channels and Stardust, and I was like, yeah, I've got to watch that, because that's modern films. It's such a good one. It's very the funness of Princess Bride without being Princess Bride. It's just like, yeah, got to be watched.
Yeah, and The Fifth Element. That's another one.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, Fifth Element is one for me and my wife. And oddly, our first date movie was Starship Troopers.
Wow.
Nice.
So Starship Troopers is one of those. It's on. We're watching it.
That was a good film. I've heard they want to do remakes on that one.
Really?
Well, there's like 7 sequels to it.
No, there's not. You don't talk about the sequels. Doesn't get talked about. There's only one, and then there's the shit things.
The third movie wasn't that bad. It was bad, but it wasn't that bad.
It wasn't that
the third
bad.
one with the giant robot suits, and God was coming to save them as they prayed, and it was the angels with the robot suits and the brain bug the size of a planet.
You picked all the bad parts.
To be fair,
the second one is like the second one is like absolute trash. Like it should never be acknowledged. But the third one is at least like a real movie.
Yeah, the animated ones are quite good.
No one seems to remember it. Apparently you do, Barman. But one of the first shows I watched regularly as a kid was Roughnecks, the Starship Troopers Chronicles. And it was one of the first all CG shows ever on TV. So it's very dated, but it's a great show.
Yeah, I remember that one. Oh, that was good. But I just meant the animated films. I completely forgot about the series. God. Yeah, but no.
There's the animated movies.
Yeah, I'm sure there's at least 2. I definitely remember one where the bugs get on the spaceship and they're coming to Earth and they're going to try and attack Earth with it and things. That was really good because that had suits things. And I vaguely remember a second one as well. Someone in chat will probably tell us in a minute.
Yeah.
So good like that.
It's like the Santa Claus movies, Tim Allen. My daughter refuses to even admit there's a third one. It's so bad. And I said, "Look, Santa Claus 3 is on." Nope, no such movie.
Oh, that's good.
I read somewhere, I saw someone have a really dumb take on Twitter a little while ago where someone was saying that Starship Troopers promoted fascism or something. And I'm like, did you miss like the whole movie?
That was a mockery of fascism. That was the entire point of it.
It's supposed to be a satire of fascism.
That's right.
The adverts in between. I love the adverts, though. The little propaganda adverts they cut.
Would you like to know more?
Would you like? Yes, I love that. Would you like to know more?
Oh, they were good. Mandelbrot Search just saying, I know it's secret about the director of Princess Bride. If anyone ever meets him, ask him about those hours of films of Billy Crystal ad-libbing as Miracle Max. Will we ever see it? I would pay to see like an hour-long film of Billy Crystal just ad-libbing as Miracle Max, because that was awesome bit in it.
And it's probably an hour long because the rest of the cast just couldn't not laugh. Oh my God! Could you imagine? I mean, watching Billy Crystal doing the scenes that he did do. Could you imagine being on the set and you're not allowed to fucking laugh? And you know he's making it up as he goes along, so it's not like it's super scripted and you know what's going to happen. So it's like, I can't laugh.
They are some of the best scenes where you find out afterwards on any film. They go, yeah, this bit was ad-libbed, or they just had a rough script for this one. They had to make up the rest. You go, that's perfect. That's why it's so funny. Because as good as writers can be, if you've got two good comedians on set, they're going to bounce off each other.
Oh yeah,
so much.
Well, they had a script for the G, and then when Robin Williams started doing it, most of that just went right out the fucking window. And they even had to redraw some of the stuff just to fit what he was doing. It was kind of amazing.
Wow. That's him, no.
Oh, yeah, it is.
That was crazy.
Yeah, there's two good points in chat. Ash Scott was saying, but why is Paul Verhoeven so convinced there'll be unisex showers in the future? God orders two replies. Oh, crap, why is it this road? Because they were utter professionals, like the military pretends it is. And the second one might as well take advantage of that R rating.
Do you guys know the fun little story behind the shower scene?
Go on.
Apparently, the cast refused to do it unless Verhoeven and the rest of the crew were also nude. So apparently, behind the camera, they are.
Now that
is perfect.
There's got to be pictures. There's got to be pictures.
Do you want the pictures?
It would be funny to see, though.
It would be, yeah.
And that's the thing. That's the neat thing too. Is the latest class of submarine we just designed. We actually had to design it for women, for the first submarine design to include women. So we have to have extra showers and everything.
Fair enough.
Because they're not going to share showers.
No, which is understandable at the same time. It's like, but there's more work to be put in. I've got to make it bigger. I'm sure I saw somewhere a fact, though, that when designing buildings with facilities in, there has to be 1.8 times the amount of toilets for women than there is for men, because that's how they work it out. And I was like, that's a really random number. Why 1.8? How did they come up with that number? I'm like, why am I even interested in this fact?
Here's an interesting bathroom fact. If you ever visit the Pentagon, there are literally twice as many restrooms as needed by the personnel it houses. Does anyone know why?
Segregation. And when President went to tour it, he was absolutely fuming because there wasn't supposed to be segregation by that point for military buildings or something.
Yeah, that building was built to have whites only and blacks only bathrooms.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you're never more than 20 feet from a pisser, so it's great for people like me who have tiny bladders.
Well, the building I work in, we actually bought it from Pfizer, and they housed 1,800 people in it, and the facilities were designed for a little bit more than that. And of course, Electric Boat, we crammed 3,400 people into the buildings. So we're like, literally, that was the limit of the number of people that EB figured they could put, because there's code on this, and it has to do with the number of actual fixtures in the restrooms. Yeah, it's kind of weird.
The strange restrictions they have on building on this is how many pisses you need.
That's right.
Like, they're never all going to be all full at once, not unless everyone went out for curry the night before.
Oh, the other thing, wow, that's just nasty. So the other thing we designed submarines for is ergonomics. So we've designed it for the 5th percentile tall woman and the 95th percentile tall man. So they have to be able to look at the same gauge and operate the same valve with the same ergonomics. So you're talking about a 5'1" woman and a 6'5" man, because that works.
Wow.
So yeah, it's funny.
That's something I wouldn't have even popped into my head.
Yeah.
Yeah, jeez.
Yeah, we actually have all of these little, they're called ergo men and ergo women so when they're doing these virtual fly-throughs of all of the compartments and the valves and the pipes and the walkways and electrical cables, we stick these, they're kneeling and they're standing and they're bending over, and all the possible ways that you can actually fit into doing whatever it is that you need to do. And so we had to design everything to be easily accessible and viewable for a 5-foot woman and a 6'5" man at the same time.
But that doesn't incorporate the hallways and portals. I visited Boomer earlier in the year, and the captain was 6'4", and he knows by the time that he retires, he's going to have a permanent crink in his neck.
Yeah. Well, when I was in the Navy, my wife she was a PT at the Navy hospital, and sub-sailors, that was mostly what she worked on, was necks and backs, because the hatches, the watertight hatches, they're not very big, and they're not very big for a reason, because the bigger it is, the more surface area you have and the more pressure you have on it. So they're pretty much limited in their size. And if you're a 6'5" guy, boy, you're having a hard time, especially when you need to get through them quickly because shit's on fire. Not that that's ever happened to me.
I got to pull us backwards here a second. Ash Scott had an awesome comment. I've never been in a bathroom and thought, I wish there was more racial diversity in here.
Did you see the one just above that as well, Dick?
Oh, that's funny.
Oh, yeah. They thought they were being nice and racist, but literally everyone would be happier as long as segregation meant double bathrooms.
I don't know about that, but my God, how ridiculous was society 70 years ago when it would have been a valid statement to stand at a urinal, look around, and go, man, this would be a great bathroom if it weren't for all the black people in here. Also, first launch of 2021, the Falcon 9 has launched the Turksat 5A mission and is 1 minute 15 seconds into the flight.
Oh, cool. Sweet.
Aimee.
Yeah, we have a super chat, please.
Gary Lowe for £2 said, "Take my money, you heathens."
Very much, Gary.
Thanks a lot, Gary. Wow, that's amazing.
That was a good one. Amy's now explaining the word.
Yeah. Is Tom here? Because we could probably have a good time with that one.
He's probably
gone.
Let's see if I refresh the chat, I'll see if we can tag him.
Yeah,
because that's usually where you find out if they're still hiding. Nope, he's gone. What a shame. He probably got upset that he got muted.
I can still tag him.
Oh, I can't. Why can't I?
Because
I'm surprised he showed up after bitching out when he made a big stink about coming to have a chat with me and then didn't show up for weeks.
Yeah. Oh God, yeah. I forgot all about that.
He never showed up for Kevin's debate either, right?
Nope.
So not that we expected
one of I don't know 20 plus at this point.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think he just says he's going to do it. Just I don't know, because he knows he's not gonna, and we know he's not gonna. So
they have this weird thing where they say, "Sure, I'll debate," and then they don't show up, and they think it's hilarious that we made all this effort and they didn't show up.
Yeah,
it just makes them look stupid. Was it
Yeah.
Dion?
because they're all in the 8th fucking grade. So
Sure, it was Dion Schmo or whatever didn't turn it for one with Toon the other night. I was like, oh, for God's sake.
Yeah. We just turned it into a hangout, you know.
I was going to stay up for that.
That'd have been fun.
Like, oh, I'm tired because it's like 2 in the morning that started for me. I was like, oh.
Actually, my very first live stream was with Toon.
Nice.
Cool.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I produced it, Barman.
Oh, yeah, you were saying before, weren't you? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why we were just like, well, what the fuck you want to do? I would just have fun. All right. And it literally turned into Poop Chat Weekly for about 30 minutes. We were telling funny bathroom stories. It was just who knows, right? You never know what's coming up, you know?
Oh, don't start with silly jokes. The wife was sat here earlier and on her phone she had not Ricky Gervais, one of the comedians, but the jokes on it were just like, oh, they would make me cringe and not want to say them on PubChat. They were that bad. Not PubChat, Poker. I was just like, oh my God. They were terrible. But yeah, gotta love a good joke, and poop jokes are always the best.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Exactly.
Also, Ash Scott, you're getting confused. You're talking about Feel Jesus in You. Multi Tom Tom, we know what his voice sounds like because he makes content. We know he's not someone else. Ash Scott, for God's sakes, Sir Sick covered it recently. You're behind on your videos. But Feel Jesus in You is the one who will never speak on camera or on microphone about anything because we'll realize that they're one of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of us.
I'm totally convinced that Feel Jesus in You is actually somebody who's like, you know, sort of in the community, so to speak, or whatever, you know.
I reckon it's
just having fun. I was thinking it was that guy. I was thinking it was Curve Pimp, I think his name is. I can't remember offhand properly. Sorry. Remember he did the baby globe eggs videos last year?
Yeah. That was hilarious.
Yeah, I think it's him, to be honest. That's my guess.
It'll be one of them. It'll be somebody silly.
Yeah, totally.
Whoever it is, at least they've got a sense of humor, which is always good.
Yeah, Curve Planner, that's it. Thanks, Jen. I knew there was a change and I was fucking it up. Thanks.
Yeah, what we'll have to do is just keep an eye on our chat next time they're here and see who doesn't talk much when Field using
Do a little statistical. Do a little statistical analysis here.
Yeah. See, if I was a flat Earth right now, I could ignore everything else that Dark Steve has said and just look at his comment that says me and say, "It's you, Dark Steve. It's obviously you. You said me." We'll ignore the message before and it's a typo, but it's obviously you.
Yeah, it is. There we go.
So Kevin.
Oh, now we've got that figured out. That was Flurf logic at its finest, right there.
Kevin can tag Multi Tom Tom, and then one of us can strategically tag somebody else and ask them a question and see who answers when.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
See who replies. We will use our powers.
It's going to be like one of the murder mystery dinner theaters.
Yeah. Yeah. Keep asking questions till you get the right answers.
Yeah. Tina Jones says, they could have 2 devices. Yeah, but they'll forget which device they're looking at.
I've done that. I've done that. I've got a couple of spoof joke sock accounts, and I've had like Chrome up on my account and Firefox up on the fake one, and then accidentally say the wrong thing on the wrong account. Like, fuck, I gave myself away.
Yeah.
Well, Kyle's disappointed mom.
I knew that one already.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm a moderator on a forum called DBS Talk, and back in the day, we used to do hardware testing for DirecTV. So we would have whatever the upcoming hardware was going to be. They would give us versions of it, and we would go through testing. And we'd download special software. So we had a lot of these little private sub forums for the testers that the rest of the people couldn't see. And every once in a while, somebody, including me, would be have one window open with the private forum, one window open with the, trying to moderate the yahoos talking in the regular forums. So, and then I forget which one I'm in, and then I'll type something in that, of course we're under NDAs, and all of a sudden people are like, what was that? Oh crap, it's the wrong one. Delete. And then all of a sudden, I heard someone was saying that we're going to have this new feature. Oh, fuck.
And to continue with, I believe it was Kevin who'd mentioned the first launch of 2021. We now have the first landing of 2021.
Oh, nice.
We have landing and second engine cutoff.
I should have put it up on the fucking screen. Damn it.
That was a quick one, too.
Technically, you still can. The power of the internet. No one will know.
Yeah, that's true.
Just ignore everything we just said, guys. The launch hasn't actually happened yet. It's going to happen in 3 minutes' time.
I was down at the Cape. I was down at the Cape a couple weeks ago for work, and I conveniently landed in Orlando as a rocket launched. I stayed an extra day for one that was going to happen at noon that was pushed off a week. And then the flight that I took off that I delayed to watch the second launch took off during another launch.
Wow.
So I conveniently missed all of the fucking launches. I'm the guy that will never see a rocket launch.
Wow.
I wouldn't mind missing one on the ground if I got to see it from a plane. That would be cool.
Orlando's too far away though. And I didn't have a seat that would have been able to see it.
Well, when I was stationed in Orlando, it was mostly the big light and fire, but I could see the shuttle launch from the Navy base in Orlando. And being stationed down there, I got to actually go there and watch one. It was pretty cool.
There, I fixed it.
Have we gone back in time?
Yes, we did. Nice. No, this is live. We're streaming it live.
Oh, I hope it goes off without a hitch.
Yeah. Well, see, BM, I can move so close to the speed of light that this is still now. Right?
Yeah. Could we use our magical pub powers and put it on double speed for now? Because it's like 8 minutes till launch.
But it kicks in quicker than it looks, I think. Here, I will speed it up. Sure.
Yeah.
Powers of magic.
No, that's right. Is it now? No, it's no longer now. It's then.
Yeah.
By the power of grace, I command you.
But when did now become then?
Yeah. Just then. But
Just
when
now?
will it be?
I'm surrounded by assholes.
When will it be now? You missed it. You missed it.
That's too funny. Yeah. So I got it sped up some, so we'll get there.
Yay.
Yeah.
Look at that. That's pretty fancy.
See, I knew to have a YouTube capture ready to go. It's just one of those things, You swear to God, I've done this before.
Was that a Kazakhstan flag?
Turkey.
I thought it was Turkey.
Oh, it's Turkey.
It's Turksat 5A, Turkish satellite. That they're launching.
Okay.
Yeah, it goes
I'm calling fake. That's CGI.
Well, of course it's fake.
The Earth's flat. Look, a picture shows
right.
the Earth's flat, and that satellite's doing like that. Why doesn't it go in like a giant circle and only does this weird shape?
It looks round. Oh, that's one of my favorites. It looks round because your eyeballs are round.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
You've actually heard that? Wow.
Oh, yes. Absolutely. I've heard that one. As
I've never
and that's
heard
why
that.
you perceive it to be round. Then why is this desktop flat?
It's not. It's just curved the other way.
Didn't somebody at one of the conventions a couple of years ago say that even when they send people up into space, you won't be able to believe it because the curvature of your eyeball and the helmet you'll be wearing?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
So let's lay the groundwork for while you're in space that it's fake.
That's right.
They've got to try and do something because they know their time is numbered.
Oh, yeah.
Because they know their time is short.
While I did not get to watch a rocket launch, the one that launched as I landed, 2 days later, I did get to see the booster come back into the bay. And then, God, what was it? What was the big heavy launch that just went from the Cape like 2 weeks ago? I was out there while they were moving the building, the structure back right before the launch. Looking at it, it's like, oh, that's going to launch in 4 hours while I'm on a fucking plane.
Yep. Wow.
And got to see a couple of Falcon 9 boosters as they were getting brought into the reman facility.
Ooh. Cool. That would be cool as hell to see.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I got way closer than I should have been able to.
Interesting.
So Masturbators said the same. His Flurf co-worker tried to use that one. But just making me think, I think Tina Jones is on the same sort of lines. How do we know our eyes are curved if we see things curved because our eyes are curved? Does that mean our eyes are square? It's very confusing circle. What came first, the curved eyes or the curvedness that we see with our eyes that make them curved? Who knows?
Because the chicken said so.
Oh no, Tony's Redeem's got it because for the Kazakhstan flag, Kazakhstan don't do satellites. They specialize in giant magnets and duck suits. Thank you, Tony.
The flag reminded me of a meme I saw today. Apparently, somebody went to the flag store before the riots yesterday and didn't realize that there was a state of Georgia and a country of Georgia. Because they were carrying around a giant banner of a pro-Trump flag and a country of Georgia flag.
Funny as shit.
Wow.
Oh, that's awesome.
And you know the flag.
Education isn't for everyone, you know.
Clearly.
Oh, yes. Probably didn't even know there was a country called Georgia.
Yeah.
What do you mean there's more than one Georgia?
Wow. Don't you look at the Georgia flag and go, that doesn't look all that American? I mean,
yes. Why does Georgia have two flags?
Yeah. Wow.
Tony Regime, yeah, Georgia was part of the Soviet Union.
Yeah.
At one point.
Basically everything Eastern Europe was Soviet Union.
It was also part of a Dannon yogurt commercial. Look at all these old people in Georgia. They eat yogurt. So you want to be old? You want to grow old? Eat yogurt. That's basic. That isn't quite how they said it, but that was what they meant.
Yeah. I'm going to slow this down in just a couple of seconds here, and I'll bring it up a little bit larger here.
Woohoo!
Hey, why is it in low? That's weird. It defaulted to 480. I only just noticed that.
That's annoying.
Yeah, here we go.
I'll say
Also,
one thing.
I didn't plan this. I'm wearing the best shirt for this today.
Hey, look at that.
Well, we can't. So,
nice. Well,
what is it?
Here, hold on. Kevin, stand up and show it. You got to speak.
Oh, nice.
Speaky. I have a Falcon 9 shirt.
Oh, there you go. That's cool as hell.
Oddly appropriate.
See, I was prepared for that to happen. See that? See that?
It was he planned it that way.
Yeah.
Look at that giant dildo about to go into space. I mean, rocket.
Yeah,
Rocket's going to space. Dildos go up asses.
Jesus.
I just tweeted the picture I was talking about.
Oh my god.
Barman, you reminded me of that dude who does the objects that I've shoved up my arse video.
Oh, God.
I don't think you shoved that up his ass yet. You'd only do it the once.
3, 2, 1, and liftoff of the Falcon 9 with Turksat 5A.
Nice. First launch of 2021.
Nice.
And I argued with a guy in the Flat Earth Society forum. You know, they go up so slow, and that was his proof that they're fake.
Oh, God.
Yeah, that's funny.
We're 20 seconds in, and it's going 300 kilometers an hour.
Yeah. It's like, it's not really going that slow.
No.
Just watch a top fuel dragster off the line for the first 50 feet. It doesn't really go that fast.
But then all of a sudden it's at 200 miles an hour.
Exactly.
It's all relative, right? Like it's hard to tell looking at a rocket on the launch pad that it's the size of a building.
Right.
Yeah.
When you're 2.5 miles away, You know, and it goes up 500 feet in, you know, no time at all. You don't really get that sense of scale. And scale is not something they understand to begin with. So,
No.
there you go.
BM, what were you
there
gonna
you
say?
go. I love
Is there something of that mass? Do they really expect they're able to get it accelerated that fast? Have you ever seen a fat guy start running?
Exactly.
Nope.
I actually went and calculated it for him to Saturn V. He's like, it should just go right up to speed instantly. So I calculated the G forces on a Saturn V rocket that, by the way, weighs about 10.5 million pounds. It would fucking crush it. How do you know? Because look, I had like loads that are 10 to the 6th. This is not gonna happen.
What would be the car equivalent? Like in your car, 0 to what in 0.1 seconds?
In your car would be like 0 to I don't know, 17,000 miles an hour. I would have to scale it for you. I've got the calculation here somewhere in one of these folders.
And so as they scrape your body out of the chair that was ejected through the sheet metal of the back of your car.
Gosh, yeah, fire. I am a fat guy, and if I may speak for all fat guys, we don't run.
No, we do run when we know there's a sale on at KFC or there's free cake somewhere.
Did you say you tweeted Dead Kennedy?
No, I tweeted the Georgia flag.
Oh, because I'm looking and I don't see the tweet. Huh.
And there's first stage separation.
Here, I'm going to retweet it right now.
Where's the mouse?
I was thinking that too when we were watching in the beginning. Yeah, I'm just waiting for the mouse, man, because I swear to God, if I was to meet that mouse in a back alley, he's going to kick the shit out of me.
Also, I absolutely love the way that Merlin engine glows. That's so cool.
Yeah,
so quickly too. It just, you know, wow.
That's a very well cooked mouse if it's there.
Yes.
No, it's got space mouse feet, man. It can handle it. It's fine.
Well, a mouse that big. It's what is it? The rodents of unusual size.
Well, I mean, wouldn't that make it about the size of a blue whaler too?
No, a bus. I think.
Yeah. Okay.
I always have to ask the question. They claim that the rocket launchers are fake and CGI. So why did someone put a fake CGI mouse on it?
Yeah. and why would you use that as, you know? Yeah.
Well, Kevin's got a good explanation for this because I was like, why? But you've got to have the right perspective on, like, Kevin. Do that. Yeah.
I was thinking about that, like, because people always go, well, this mouse must be enormous then. Well, no, not in their mind, because in their mind, we're looking at a scaled model in a warehouse somewhere with pre-recorded footage against a green screen. But no matter how you slice it, it doesn't make any sense because it's like, okay, so you're telling me that a mouse got into this warehouse, got onto this prop, you guys filmed it, nobody saw it. Yeah. And it didn't react at all when the engine ignited, if the engine ignited and it isn't all just an effect. But like the very fact that they think it's pre-recorded, that's the giveaway because you're telling me nobody saw that shit.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, well that's the part where, you know, they come up with something but then just don't go that one next step of, well, actually using critical thinking. And does this make sense if I say this? Because if they did, they'd never say all the shit they say. So, you know.
Yeah. That just reminds
the people who bring up the mouse, they have the most like satisfied, like this is such a slam dunk look on their face every time they say it, and everyone's just laughing at them.
And you could hear it in their voice. It's just giddy. Yeah, freaking hilarious.
What you'll have to do, Kev, is send the brilliant expat Taffy a picture of it and see if he sees a mouse. With his rock, which looks like a fake. Fuck.
He's gonna see an armadillo. So I tried when I drew that outline of the bird. I tried to find an outline of an armadillo, and I was like, "What kind of crazy ass mutant armadillos does this guy have?"
I did eventually see one person send me some lines drawn on it to make sense of it, and I was like, okay, now I see the bird and armadillo, but that armadillo is clearly a lobster. I mean, I don't know what this guy's smoking.
My favorite is going to be the pink flamingo.
Pink flamingo is amazing.
And actually, who was it? It was the Mythbusters did a segment on that because a lot of space deniers talk about the shadows. Look at this. You got this object here casting a shadow. That guy object there casting a shadow. They're going in different directions. Well, that's because you don't know the terrain that the shadow's casting on. And Mythbusters actually did that, and they replicated it, and it looked exactly like one of the pictures, because you have no frame of reference to see which direction the ground is going from a photo taken literally 50 years ago.
Yeah, it's like Mike, I've talked about before. Every time you see an orbiter above the moon or you see something land on the moon, you have no concept of how close to the ground you are until you get there, because you can't tell how big any individual crater or rock is.
Right.
Yeah. That one we saw before Christmas, wasn't it? And it's just like, oh my God, it's so fast. Oh, there's the ground. Fuck my life.
I recently saw an interview with one of them. I don't remember who it was now, talking about that exact thing. They were coming down, and they're watching the altitude from radar, and they're watching their descent rate. And he was still worried because he's looking down and he had no earthly clue how close he was, other than the radar indication. It tells him how far he was. He couldn't tell. He was afraid that they were going to either come in too fast or they're going to wind up going back up because they're accelerating too much to try not to crash.
Right.
And that's one of the reasons they had those on the feet. They had those posts that come down, because you could see the shadows, and that starts to tell you.
Right. Yeah, that's when you listen to the Eagle has landed audio, you can hear them narrating basically everything that's happening. And I think it's because it's the only frame of reference they have. Like they're going 2.5 down, big shadow. All right, kicking up some dust now.
Yep.
Have you ever listened to the other audio tracks from the moon landings?
I don't think so.
So they've got there's a website that you can go to. I don't remember what it is off the top of my head, but it is every single audio track from every station in mission control through the entire mission. So it's like 30 different. It's like 30 different recordings, and you can go to any point in it, and half of it's just random chatter between stations. Midnight chatting about this and that. So it is every single word that was spoken by everyone in mission control that were, Bob and Alan talking about taking a break soon and then switching out manpower and the entire mission. And you can go to any second throughout the entire launch and figure out what every station was saying.
That's pretty cool. That's really cool.
I heard the original audio for Apollo 13. Well, snippets of it. It was on a channel that was doing the making of the film and things. And when they get to the Houston, we've got a problem bit and things like that, they just sound so nonchalant. There's no like, oh yeah, something's just blown up and I'm a bit scared. No, it's just like, yeah, there might be something wrong. We're not sure. Don't really know. We've had enough drugs. Don't care. We're professionals. It's like, wow, I'd be shitting myself.
Yeah. Well, it gets to be a point where you're there and you want, what do I need to do to stay alive? That's what they were thinking about. Okay, so what's next? What's the next thing on this checklist so I don't fucking die? Yeah. and so they have to work methodically through things. That's how.
And what's the phrase that bravery is not having fear, it's recognizing your fear but doing it anyways.
Yeah, exactly. And fear of death is a good motivator. So if you know you need to do this and this and this and this, and you have to do them in order, by God, you're going to do that.
There's people in the chat talking about Dune, and I'm working on a 40-minute Dune video. So as soon as BM started talking about fear, my brain just goes, I must not fear. Fear is the mind killer. Fear is the little death that brings about total obliteration.
Oh, that's funny as shit.
I can't think clearly anymore. That video is ruining my brain.
Showed wife the new trailer for the new Dune film. She's like, "Yeah, we're gonna watch that."
Yes. You heard the sad news though, right?
What?
It's going to be in 2 parts. The movie that the trailer shows is the first part, and because of COVID and because they can't make any profits off it on HBO Max, the sequel might not get made.
Oh, what?
Wow.
No, that's just going to be infuriating.
According to Denis Villeneuve, it might not get made, but he did not say definitively.
Come on, Netflix, step in and make this fucking film.
I know that the current TV shows, everything is shut down in Hollywood, in California, so they're not making anything. So whatever's currently in the can is all they're going to have for a while.
Hollywood is like scrambling right now.
Yeah.
They did not they didn't account for a potential pandemic, and they kind of forgot that they spend hundreds of millions on every movie. Yeah. And now they can't recoup the losses on most of those.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you know, what did they spend on Wonder Woman? Which, by the way, was not that good.
Not
it was horrible. I was in shock watching that, thinking to myself, wow, was this done by a bunch of, you know, budget film students with old gray computers or something? What the hell is going on here?
Yeah, I got the impression they let some film school do the editing, because it was just horrible. And
especially the effects in the opening scenes. There was no weight. It looks like it was done at the time of Reboot. You remember that animated cartoon thing? Like it's
Reboot.
It's terrible.
Yeah, it is pretty bad.
Mike, was it you who asked about the budget of Wonder Woman?
Yeah.
$200 million budget, current box office, it's at 118.
Wow.
Not looking good.
But then it's not really had a proper box office release.
Yeah, it didn't have a theatrical release.
Yeah.
Actually,
it was
it's considered one of the bigger releases during COVID too.
Yeah, I think it has like 2,000 screens, and that's, by the way, not a lot. So it seems like they've done pretty well. I don't know. They make any money off the HBO Max presentation? I don't know how that works.
No idea.
Because that's how I watched it.
I torrent it because, well, fuck you. But you know, different matter.
Fucking Canadians.
So, well, you know, when I bought my TV last December, we had free Disney Plus for a year. And when Mulan was coming out, it was going to be on Disney Plus. It was going to be Disney Plus. I was like, oh, great, we're going to get to see it. Yeah, then it was $29. Yeah, so I was like,
it's free now.
You.
Yeah,
is it?
Who would pay for the subscription knowing they're just going to randomly charge you for the good ones? Are you fucking kidding me?
That's right. And not just charge, but $30 too. It's not like
and
the price of 2 movie tickets.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And it was Mulan of all movies. Like, really?
And granted, you could $30 to take, you know, a family of 4 out to a movie is actually kind of cheap, but it seems to be just a money grab, because you're paying for the subscription to the service. You're supposed to get all these premium shit, and what do you get? Nothing.
Yeah.
Although Mandalorian,
if they did it in like a membership. Sorry, Furball, go.
Mandalorian's worth it. 100% worth it.
Yes.
Yeah. It is a great show. Wow. But if they did Disney Plus more like a membership where you get most of it for free, but some things are going to cost a few bucks, then fine, people know it going in. But that's dishonest bullshit.
Yeah, and it was the first time I think that they had actually charged an additional fee. Yeah. So, you know, and it caught a lot of people off guard. It pissed a lot of people off, and I don't blame them. That's why we didn't watch it. We haven't seen it, and that's why, because I'm not paying an extra $30. Well, of course, I really couldn't complain too much because we got it free for a year. But fuck you.
Plus,
exactly.
Even looking past the Disney Plus scandal, there's the fact that the film was endorsed by the CPP, and one of the filming locations was very, very close to the Chinese Uyghur concentration camps.
Ash Scott is trying to push buttons. Mandalorian is so good, and I fucking hate Star Trek.
Oh,
them's fighting words.
they are. They really are. I'm gonna have to watch some Star Trek tonight. I fancy watching the Deep Space Nine episode where they're trying to get the Romulans into the war. Fucking excellent.
I finished, caught up on The Expanse recently. That is a really good series.
I forgot about Series 6. I guess the new series of that.
Oh, it is amazing.
Yeah, I watched like the first season or two, and I meant to go back to it. I never have.
Yeah,
I did the same.
Yeah, I watched the first season or so while I was in Korea, and then with the family gone for the past month and a half, I've had nothing to do. So I started watching it again, and it is an amazing sci-fi series. I love the mostly realistic science of it. They don't have any major leaps in technology that's just undoable.
Huh. Wow.
Like for gravity, they don't have artificial gravity. The only way they have gravity is if the drive is on. So the entire transit to wherever, they have the drive on at 1G. And then as soon as they start getting close to the planet or wherever, they flip the fucking ship around and decelerate to have to continue having 1G.
Yeah. Cool.
There's one I keep meaning to watch. Are you familiar with the channel Space Dock on YouTube where they cover the ships and things?
Oh,
so check out Space Dock. It's a great little channel. They do in-depth on the ships and things like that, but not just for Expanse, for like sci-fi series all around. But he's doing like a book series, and it's called The Sojourn, and all of his books and things like that are going to follow the same sort of principle of, there's got to be more techie sort of understanding. But even the way the weapons, he's got them oriented on the ships, on the animated graphics and things to go with it all. It's like, take it all into account, make it not too sci-fi, no laser pew pew or anything like that. And that seems like it's going to be really good. I keep meaning to watch it. You just reminded me of it in my head. So have a check.
You ever seen a channel called Metaball Studios?
That sounds familiar.
Yeah, they have does the starship size comparison. Is that them?
Yeah, and
yes, okay, yeah.
The size comparison one's pretty cool because they start with the smallest ships on Earth, so you have a frame of reference, and they just keep zooming out and zooming out and zooming out until you get to the really big ships, the big star cruisers from Star Wars and stuff. It's phenomenal. They have actually quite a few. They have one where they show you the size of certain nuclear explosions, and it's the same thing. I mean, it's all supposed to be really accurate. Of course, some of these fictional ships, there aren't really good data on size, just inferences, but it's pretty phenomenal. It's called Metaball Studios, METABLL Studios.
Yeah, I saw one that ended with Ring World, or was it Halo Ring or something? But it was just, it was amazing because it went from like an aircraft carrier right out to stuff bigger than the Earth. It was fucking awesome.
And that's this one.
I have it pulled up right now. It ends with a ring world and a ring world around a Dyson sphere.
Yes.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
Yeah. What do you guys think here? We're coming up on 2.5 hours. I kind of think we're wrapping it up.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me. I go to bed at 3 a.m.
I have to get up at about 4:30. So.
We can't be pushing it then. Let's go around the room for final wrap-up thoughts here. Give us this is what I'm hoping that 2021 gives us at the very least, like, a fix, a breakthrough, a modernize, whatever. You know what I mean? For myself, all I want is life to go back to normal, and maybe by the end of 2021, because with mutations and stuff, it's starting to look pretty fucked up. I'm not really sure, but I'm just looking for life to be back to normal. Mike Bartleson, what about yourself?
That is exactly what I was going to say. You know, I just want, you know, we just got an email from the woman that we normally rent a house for on Long Beach Island in New Jersey, and we just so want to be able to go do that in August. Just go to the beach, just have some semblance of normality back. That's all I'm looking for.
Indeed. Barman.
Oh, a good busy summer season in the pub with lots of people who've been vaccinated so we can open. That'd be happy for me. That really would be.
I'm right, man. Good call. Good call.
I'll be
What
there
about
next
yourselves?
weekend. I got my shot this week.
Oh, nice.
Is it the double shot or are you on one of the other vaccines?
Double. I'm going to go back in a couple weeks.
Yes, my wife gets her second shot next week.
Nice.
Nice. So look at that. Look at how many people are here chatting right now, and we already got 2 people that are doing it. Like, that's pretty good, you know, considering when this started and so on and so forth. Wow. You know, wow. Let's see here. Aimee, how about you and Matt? What do you guys, you know, what are you looking forward to in 2021?
I think the same thing as everybody else. Some normalcy.
Get a driver's license. That's what I do.
That's what he thinks. Yeah, that would be the end of me. I'm sorry, my hair would be completely gray. But definitely some normalcy. I think that's what everybody's craving right now. Just and you know, just seeing things calm down for a little bit.
Yeah.
Some calm, some normalcy, you know, seeing things move forward, seeing, seeing, the vaccine going forward, things like that. I think that would be great.
Good call, Aimee. Good call. What about expat Kennedy?
How very much dare you? I would like to go to the Winchester, have a pint, and wait for all this to blow over. That's what I want. Also, congratulations to SpaceX for the successful deployment of Turksat 5A and the first successful launch of 2021.
Cool. Well said. Well said. And I think we better hand it over. BM Furball, last words of the evening, my friend.
Well, I'll take a little bit of a different tone. I know everybody wants normalcy. I've kind of come to the rationalization that there may be a new normal for some time. I've personally had a lot of changes in my life over the past year, so I've had no such thing as normal. It's just constantly changing. What I'm hoping for is stability. To stop getting blindsided, to stop getting punched in the face with politics, with rhetoric, with death and increasing numbers. Stability. So that even if we are in a bad place, we're at least stable enough to know that at the end of the road, it's going to be okay.
Right.
Yes. I like that one.
Good call, man. Good call. And I want to remind everybody, when you bend over to tie your shoes and you feel that little breath of wind blow across your ass, that could be Unirock's PayPal account link, or it could be Robert Beatty. But either way, you don't want that shit hanging out behind your ass, fellow babies, so get rid of it. On that note, it's PubChat with the Shills, and we're out of here. Let's say goodnight, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Good night. Good night.
Catch you on the flip side.
Good night, everybody.